Thank you for watching this short video that is designed to help you and your child understand our report data systems, to be able to discuss our report data with your child and to enhance that homeschool partnership that we have. Students have had this report data information shared with them in assembly, so they are also aware of the conversations they should be having with both you and their teachers in school. Across the next week, a report focus week will occur in subjects where teachers will discuss individual students' subject data report, as well as a reflection in tutor time. Here you can see what a report will look like. At the top, there is some contextual information that you already have access to on the Insight app, but you can see that there is an average EREF points score for the year group that will give you something to compare your child's EREF score and give you an idea of their attitude and behaviour generally in and around the school. In the table below, you will have the subject teacher, and the lesson attendance. The lesson attendance will show you which subjects, if any, have been affected more than others if your child has been absent. The next column shows the number of lates in each subject your child has had, if any, and the following column shows the minutes late in total for the number of the lates column. Next, we have a behaviour for learning colour, a behaviour for learning comment, and Deer Park current step, which we'll explain further on the following slides. On the top right, you can see the target bands. These are based on the capacity for learning shown in primary school and early assessments here at school for the end of their time here at Deer Park in Year 11. For most students, they will have the same target across all subjects, but as you can see in this example, some students may have a slightly different target in English and or maths. Here you can see our Behaviours for Learning poster. The Behaviour for Learning posters have been shared with students in and around school, in classrooms, and also discussed in lessons with students regularly. These Behaviours for Learning can also be found in the planners as well as the welcome packs you received in Year 7. For each subject, students will be awarded a Behaviour for Learning colour, either yellow, turquoise or blue. If a student receives a yellow, this demonstrates that they are demonstrating absolutely everything within the 11 Behaviour for Learning codes. Many students at this stage will receive turquoise across subjects and will therefore receive a Behaviour for Learning comment in the box next to it. In many cases, a turquoise will mean just a few small tweaks will support them further to reaching their targets in Year 11. It's really important to understand that turquoise isn't necessarily anything to worry about, and it's very dependent on the comments that accompany the colour and that they may only require those small tweaks. A blue Behaviours for Learning colour means that students are not demonstrating many of the Behaviours for Learning statements in school or in each subject, and therefore unlikely to reach their target at this stage. Each comment code comes with a statement that will appear on the bottom of the report. Staff have been asked to pick what they consider to be the biggest priority for students to work on to improve and move forward their learning, but others may also be discussed in the data focus week, as there may be other things that students need to work on other than the main priority. As the statements move down from the more serious, they become more specific, and these may be just small things that students need to tweak within lessons to make progress. If you have older students with us at Deer Park, you'll notice that the comments have changed slightly. So please be sure to read them really carefully. In particular, the attendance comments, B1 and B2, has now been split, and some of them just have a little bit more information for you. In Year 7, we have here our Deer Park current step. And this from Report 1 will be a baseline of where they are and where their secondary school journey starts. As we move through the year, you will be able to see the previous data, so you can see where the tweaks have been made and where they've made a difference, or where they still do need to be made. At this stage, you can see the current step can vary between subjects. And this will depend on the subject, and it's usually due to the exposure they have had previously. The exposure to certain subjects like maths and English, for example, is enormous compared to other subjects, especially at primary school. Therefore, students will have different starting points in different subjects. The difference between isn't important at this point, as different subjects progress at different rates, and it is the Behaviour for Learning code which is important. Here you can see the target bands in both GCSE grades and Deer Park School Steps. These will start as broad targets across all subjects in year 7, 8 and 9, and they will become more specific as students move through to their GCSE years. This indicates the capacity for learning shown so far. The target band is constantly under review. For some students, there may be a difference in maths and English, as already previously mentioned, and this is because they've shown a particular aptitude or an area for development, and the government judges them solely in English or maths rather than a combination between the two. Therefore, in some circumstances, students will have a different target band for English and or maths. Staff are committed to aiming for the highest target band, and we hope students will be too. These general targets in year 7 to 9 are absolutely just a starting point. They are not set in stone, and if a student excels in a certain subject, a student's current level performance could well exceed the target band, and therefore their target would be moved to reflect this. You can also see that the Deer Park current steps reflect the targets, and it just allows us to see the students move through those GCSE grades as opposed to them sitting on one grade for a really long time and us not being aware of their progress within that range. The last part of the presentation today is just the second page that you will receive with your report. It's just for reference, and this will allow you to discuss everything with your child. What does your child think they could do in each case, and work towards a turquoise or a yellow. The asterisk at the bottom shows that only a behaviour for learning code will be given in tutor time and education for life. Although these will not have a Deer Park current step, it is a vital part of our curriculum to ensure the students leave us as well-rounded individuals ready for adult life. So please ensure you also discuss these with your child and how they could improve their behaviours for learning if necessary. Thank you for the time for watching this video if you got to the end, and if you've got any questions, please direct them to the tutors in the first instance, followed by Mr. Gregory or Mrs. Dixon. Thank you very much for listening.